Good morning. Well, it's actually afternoon, but I woke up late because I went to sleep late. I was up until about, I think like maybe 4 or 5, trying to take my braids and stuff down. I know I look a mess, y'all. I know. It's okay. We gonna try to transform this shit, right? We gonna try to transform it. I haven't seen my hair in, I think, close to 5, 6 months or something like that. I was actually planning on keeping my hair braided for a year just so that I can kind of keep it out of the way, but I couldn't. It just got on my nerves to have to, you know what I'm saying? To have to, redo these and all that type of stuff. I was like, no, just take them down, wash and condition your hair, do a nice little hot oil treatment. I think because I lifted my hair and now we have more growth here. I did the lift after I think maybe a month of my hair being up. So now this is all new growth and stuff like that. I didn't really do anything with my back. The back of my hair has been taken down as well, but I don't know if it lifted back there. I can't see. So, and I haven't taken a mirror to look because they're just braids, you know? So I'm getting ready to, when I take these down completely, and I'm almost done, I have just this much left, but when I take these down completely, I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do with my hair. So I figured I'm gonna color my hair intentionally this time for the first time in my life. It would technically be the second time, but the first time it was just a little strip, and I let a lady do my hair for a hair show that she wanted me to do in South San Francisco. I think that was long time ago. And it was like, I think I was like maybe 20, 21, 22, something like that. Ciao. It's been 20 years since I put any type of color, lift, rinse, anything. No extra hues in my hair because my hair is really virgin hair. It's virgin hair. You know, and so this was like a big deal for me to like lift my color. I was like, oh my God, I just lifted my natural color. I didn't know that would be the effect. But nonetheless, you know, I know how to, roll with everything. So I ain't really worried about it. You feel me? I'm just kind of happy to take them down and let my hair just kind of rest for a little bit. And then I'm going to figure out what I want to do. I'm not sure if I want to do like maybe, I don't know if I want to do like a weave, a wig. I don't know if I want to, just kind of like braid it up in a cute little hive, you know what I'm saying? And then just kind of like, what do you call it? Just, install some extensions, shit, basically. I'm not sure if that's what I want to do or if I want to just like, let it be natural. I haven't made a decision on what it is I want to do yet, you guys. So that's mainly the thing. And let me kind of get these out of the way. I was talking about some stories last night while I was taking down a majority of my hair. And one of them was about a situation that happened with me and my cousin when I first started to set boundaries in my adult life, right? And I was telling you guys about, how the situation had gone down. And I was just like, it was really interesting because after everything happened, she knows that I didn't do anything wrong to her, but she's one of those, does anybody else have a family member like that? That's kind of like, they're spoiled with attention. That's what it is. It's like they're used to everybody catering to them and being there for them, and they can do and say whatever, and everybody's like, oh, that's just so-and-so, that's how they are, and it's like, no, that's not okay for you to do that. You need to, correct your behavior. You get what I'm saying? For real, right? So when that time came within our relationship, we were very close. I always considered her more like a sister. Actually, her and her siblings, I always considered them more like my siblings as opposed to cousins, right? And I saw them that way, but I don't think they saw me that way. There's a difference, you feel me? So, and it's okay. And that was one of the reasons, once I realized that was one of the reasons why I decided to, sorry guys, that was one of the reasons why I decided to set those boundaries, because I was like, no, I don't think that people value me the way that I value them. and it's time for me to kind of pull back a little bit and and set some boundaries. And that was like kind of like round one, basically, of setting boundaries, And she wasn't able to take that. So what she did was she went around to my family and lied and said that I had done something bad to her. And I did not do anything bad to her. I just set boundaries. I was like, you can't talk to me that way. You're not going to be able to treat me that way. I think there was something more that was going on also, because her having my address seemed to be, I'm not surprised. You guys hear the background noise or whatever. I'm not surprised at all. At this point, it's just kind of like, it's to be expected, right? So I think she might have been involved in some other stuff too. And now I'm starting to hear some little chatter about the possibility of a family member that was very close to me partaking in a plot to attack me, right? And I was like, I hope that's not her. I hope that she didn't do that. I really hope she did not do that. I said, baby, you don't curse yourself trying to play with me. You feel what I'm saying? Don't do that. And she understands, and so I think, and I love her very much. No love is ever going to be lost in that situation. But there was a lot of anger and I was looking at it as like kind of bitterness, to be honest. She always hated me for certain things. And I was speaking about some things off the record last night in my car chat. A lot of my car chats are most definitely off the record. Or they should be, and they're supposed to be, but I was just like, that kind of hurt me a little bit, but I was like, girl, that's how it be. That's how it be, you know what I'm saying? It be your own family that'll come up against you and plot on you and set you up and all kinds of shit, honey. You have to be mindful. It happens, It happens. So anyway, let's continue what I was talking about last night about the experience, right? So what ended up happening with that situation was the supervisor did come out. He did listen. You can see it all in his face. He was just so like annoyed and agitated with the whole situation. And I was like, sir, I'm not the one who did this. Like that was my energy. It's like, I'm not the one who did this. I'm just making sure that what has been done is documented properly. And also, I need you to come on out here so we can further verify what all has happened, verify my existence, verify my location that is in this area. Okay, you feel what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, no, because you have a job description too. You have a set of responsibilities that you are obligated to fulfill within your position. So that is why I asked you to come out, right? And because that is what did I cut my hair? It don't really matter, to be honest, child. It don't. Because I'm probably going to mess around and cut it anyway. Anyway, so, but he was, nonetheless, he was very nice. He was respectful. He was attentive, and he listened, and he fulfilled the obligations of his position within that moment. And I have his information. I will follow up with an email at some point just to thank him for coming out and, being a part of that situation. Not necessarily for any particular, reason. I'm not looking for any feedback. I'm not looking to make a connection or anything like that. It's just a simple follow-up and a thank you for being present and being pleasant, basically. Sometimes you never know. That can make somebody's day. You never know. I could imagine working in law enforcement. I could imagine they go through a lot of kind of bad things. They go through more bad things than they do good, So I'll send them a message at some point. It may not be like now or tomorrow, but at some point I'll send them a message and say thank you for that. Because his presence definitely brought balance to the situation. The officer that was supposed to be taking the incident report, he was extremely arrogant. He was extremely pompous. You get what I'm saying? He was just like, he was not pleasant to deal with at all. He was He was not pleasant to deal with at all. He actually violated one of my First Amendment rights. And I looked at him and I said, I'm not going to give you a reason to try to pull your gun or, try to, make it seem as if I've done something to you. I'm not going to do that. But I'm glad that all of this has been captured on body cam. And I'm glad that you have done what you've done and that you've said what you've said, because you are further proving my point. You understand what I'm saying? You're further proving my point. When I told the officer that someone had made contact with my body, and I had asked them politely if they could not do that, and they mistreated me and disrespected me in that store, a store that I go to all the time. I spend a majority of my money in that store. I love that store. You know what I'm saying? So, for you to mistreat me or, disregard my needs as a customer in general, it was out of line and disrespectful. And it wasn't within your position to do that. You should have carried yourself a little bit better when it comes to, handling customers and issues and, even conflicts and things like that, because it wasn't a big deal. The only reason that the officers were called was because you couldn't handle that. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. And that's all I'm going to say about it. You feel me? So, and I think that a lot of people were surprised at how I handled this situation. But I was like, no, this is my real personality. These people have painted me out to be like this terrible, like ghetto fabulous, or not even ghetto fabulous, but poor, whatever. And I'm like, well, they're doing that. They're orchestrating that. They're the reason why I'm like that. They're the reason why I'm here. They're the reason why I'm going through what I'm going through. Because they have purposely, created a situation that is centered around hardship for me and tried to make that my storyline. Instead of my original storyline, which is me working in fashion, me, getting up and going to work every single day, me taking care of my family, running my household, loving on my people, doing my little community work whenever I can do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, they didn't want the good part of me to show at all, which is part of the reason why I do speak up and speak out, so that people do get an idea of what kind of a person I really am. Honey, there are layers, honey. There are facets, okay? And when it comes to certain things, I don't play about it. And if I am being wronged or disrespected in any kind of way, I know how to speak up for myself, and I also know my rights, and I also know other people's rights, and I also know what their role in society is supposed to be as well. So when you're dealing with law enforcement, it's not necessarily, I'm always respectful, no matter what, unless you're really, really trying it. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real, but I'm always respectful. I'm going to come back to that, and actually, give me a second. I just want to get that out of the way. Sorry, guys. I'm not gonna take all my braids down on camera, but I'm just kind of passing time and trying to get these. I really want these out of my hair, you guys. They've been in for way too long, honestly. But so it was meant to paint me out to be like this, this bum ass bitch, this. She has no home training, she has no class, she has no, it's like, no, baby, I have the type of class that you can't buy. Real talk. Okay? And that's real talk. Like, it doesn't matter what is going on here, because all of this is a result of all of the blockages and the situations that I've been through and what I'm being put through, and, people depriving me of basically what I have a right to have. It's just been a lot. You feel what I'm saying? Exploitation, harassment, stalking, cyberbullying, all kinds of shit. Breaking and entering, theft. You get what I'm saying? Like, there's been a lot of shit that has happened. Death threats, you know what I'm saying? Assault. All kinds of shit has happened to me in this situation, especially being here. So, and the county that I was in, which is literally a few feet from where I am right now, the county where I was in, I'm like, y'all have to be very careful with that. Because you all have done some things that you weren't supposed to do, and they were illegal things. Okay, so everything that you do, it kind of adds to what has already been done. And I'm like, do we really want to have to do this? You understand what I'm saying? Because it's not about the store. The store, they're eventually going to replace everybody. You know what I'm saying? It happens, you know? But, baby, listen. I'm talking about law enforcement now. I have family members who have been raped by law enforcement. I have, you know, so I know how cops can be because they are taking advantage of the fact that they are in position. And there are a lot of bad apples. You get what I'm saying? But they're good ones too. So that's why I say not all of them deserve to be hated, but, you know, I ain't trying to be your best friend either. Hold on, you guys, I'm sorry. Ooh, okay. I'm not trying to be your best friend either. You get what I'm saying? But I'm not going to disrespect you. You know, I understand you're within your boundaries. You're within your right. You get what I'm saying? So, and like I told him, I said, there are children that look up to you. How dare you carry yourself that way with me? How dare you be a part of something like that? You know? Oh, I don't want to hear what you have to say. No, I'm clarifying a situation where there was clearly no clarity. They didn't even understand why I called the manager. The manager was unaware of anything that had happened. He didn't understand like why he had been called or any of that, right? So I was explaining to him in front of the officer, in front of the body cam, why he was being called. He wasn't even aware because we didn't get to that point. In fact, you know what's really funny, what reminded me to talk about this or to kind of close that out or whatever, I was out, I was getting some water because I didn't bring my water container with me. And I was like, oh gosh, I'm gonna have to, you know, drink out of the water fountain, and that is not my cup of tea, right? And so I drank out of the water fountain, and when I raised up and I turned to, you know, come back in here, there was a lady who had a little baby, and I just kind of grazed her a little bit, just like last night, right? I grazed her a little bit. Unknowingly, I didn't even see her, and immediately my instincts were, are you okay? You know, because you got the baby. She has the babies, right? And I was like, oh my God, are you okay? I'm so sorry. I didn't even really see you. You know, I need to pay better attention, right? And she was like, oh no, it's okay. Oh, you know, basically we were saying like neither one of us was really looking. It's completely fine. But it was a cool little graze. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like I didn't like, you know, it was like what happened last night. I'm pretty sure it was intentional also. And as I was coming back in here, I realized what had happened, and I was like, that little replay right there, that was a test for you. And I handled it the way that I wanted that man to handle what he did last night. And mine wasn't even intentional. His was intentional. You get what I'm saying? So yes, and I asked them if they had security cameras in the store, and they said no. And I said, you should have security cameras. Most definitely. You know, you should have security cameras, or maybe you can go back and check the cameras that you are not telling people are there. The ones that you don't tell your staff about, you should probably check those so you can see what happened. It's not a big deal. It wasn't a big deal at all. People are trying to make it seem like I'm dramatic, I'm over the top, I'm doing too much, this and that. No, I'm not doing too much at all. I'm just standing up for myself. You know, I'm just, hey, what is this? You know, hey, we don't need to do that. You know, be polite. You know, but they know what to do when, you know, my devices are powered down and stuff like that. They know what to do. Excuse me, you guys, my lash line is going off. You know, so, you know, and they're like, no, you don't want to, you know, you got to be careful because people retaliate and this and that. I'm like, why would somebody retaliate about me, you know, placing the spirit of correction on them when they've done something wrong to me? I'm not the one that's in the wrong here. You know, that officer said I was wasting their time. That officer was, you know, he didn't want to be there. I said, well, let me get the supervisor, because what I'm not going to do is sit here and continue to be disrespected by you. You are going to stand here and you are going to get this report, and you are going to let that body cam run, and you are going to make sure you hand over that footage. And that's just that on that. Okay? And I don't care what you think about me. I don't care how you see me. Rights are rights and wrongs are wrongs. He was wrong. I want the body cam footage. I want to watch it back so I can see. And if I have to get an attorney to take care of that, I will. No problem. It is what it is. You get what I'm saying? So, I wish that he wasn't so, I wish he wasn't so rude to me. You know, I wish people weren't so rude to me, you know? But, because I do have a very soft side. I have a side that is very soft. And people, they kind of get it fucked up because they like, oh, she just, you know, she a punk, da-da-da-da. No, I'm not. Hardly. I'm just polite. You know, I treat people the way I want to be treated. And just like that situation out there, I handled it exactly the way that it was supposed to be handled. You know, with concern and being polite. You know, it doesn't hurt anybody to be polite, but you can always tell when it's not real coming from somebody. You know, when they're just fucked up people, you can always tell. You can feel it off of them. You can sense their vibe. Their frequency is always just, there's something in there. You know what I mean? Especially when you're the type of person like me. You know, you can always sense a fake motherfucker from miles away. You know, so yeah, I had to, you know, move on from that situation. But the reality is that it's not okay. And he knew it wasn't okay. And when I asked the black officer, I was like, sir, you know, do you think that my behavior is aggressive in this moment while I'm talking to you? Because, you know, they try to pull that shit too. They try to agitate you. And then when you get agitated, then they try to make it seem as if you're aggressive or belligerent and I'm like, no, that's not what we're doing here. That's not what we're doing here. I've been targeted by police officers. I know for a fact where I used to live I used to live in Solano County. And I know for a fact that I was always targeted by their officers. I don't know why, but I was always targeted. You know, improperly touched, all kinds of things. You know, but it's okay, because I ain't gonna lie to y'all, honey, I was acting out there too, because I was getting irritated by the fact that they kept doing that shit, you know, and people were so fucking rude to me and stuff like that. It just was what it was. People get tired of being mistreated. That's what it is. People get really tired of being mistreated. And sometimes people will do that intentionally because they want that reaction from you. They want you to go off because you know, they want you to become like really tired and drained and stuff like that. You know, oh shoot, I think I might have cut this one too short. I don't know. It is what it is, whatever. But they do that intentionally. And I wish that they wouldn't, but they do. You feel me? I'm gonna finish this section with you guys, okay? And then after that, you guys won't see me again until my hair is like all the way taken down, and I'll probably style it temporarily. You see, I put 2 little Bobby Johnson braids. I said, I guess I'll do some Bobby Johnson braids. For those who don't know what Bobby Johnson braids are, they are cornrows, they are straight backs, they are boxer braids, they are, you see them a lot when the women wear the wigs and stuff like that, but it is an actual style that we wear. And they have just renamed it several times over, you know. So I think I'm gonna do Bobby Johnson's, and just kind of let my hair rest a little bit, and then I'll start getting ready to find myself a new color. I think I'm scared, y'all. I'm scared to put color on my hair. I'm like, it's not no big deal, baby. It's just hair. You ain't gonna do nothing but fuck around and cut it off anyway, so you might as well go and see what's popping. So I gotta figure out what color I want, you guys. I'm not sure how it's gonna work, but I'm gonna take you guys with me the whole way through, okay? I may or may not take you with me the whole way through, actually, now that I think about it, because I'm about to take my little break. But I'll make sure that I at least put up like a picture on social media so you guys can see the results and stuff like that. So I'm looking forward to that. I am. I'm like, oh my gosh, okay, let's see what this is gonna be given. When you do a certain hair color, you gotta like do the wardrobe and all the stuff. You gotta like buy pieces that like complement the hair color. It's like, oh my God, it's about to be a whole process. But this is the perfect time for me to do it, because if I do it now, I haven't been shopping yet for the winter. So this is the perfect time for me to do it. So I was like, go ahead and do that. Get you a couple of pieces or whatever. I'm not gonna do nothing major because you guys already know what's happening. So I don't have it like that right now, but I know how to make a little something out of that. I know, so I'll make sure I post something, and you guys will be able to see that, and or I might even just honestly keep my hair braided and maybe try some extensions or a wig or something like that. I don't know. It depends, but I gotta do something with my hair because I haven't done anything with this stuff in a minute. And my hair is like, girl, like, have you forgotten about us? What's going on? What is this? Like, what are you doing? And I'm like, y'all, I am tired and I don't feel like brushing hair. That's what it is. But I'm like, after a while, you kind of have to figure out what you're gonna do with it, because can't leave it up in the braids like that. That'll damage your hair. You leave your hair in braids too long. This is the last one of this section, you guys, and then we're gonna move on to the next one in a little bit. But yes, so that was the situation that happened, and I was disappointed in him. I was disappointed in his conduct. I was disappointed in how he handled the call. I was disappointed in everything about his demeanor, the way he communicated with me, the entire thing. And even when I asked the black officer, if I was being aggressive, back to that, he seemed so agitated. He was like, ma'am, just do what my partner is telling you to do. And I said, I'm sorry, what? Because see, they thought that, this is just another situation. A black woman's acting a fool in the store. They call the police on her to get her out the store. I'm like, no, we're gonna clarify this right now. We're going to clarify it right now. And I'm not going to lie to you, and I'm not going to chastise my own at all, especially publicly. But what I will say is that, brother, you could have did better than that. You could have did better than that. People watch how we treat one another, especially in public, and they treat us according to how we treat one another, right? So we have to love each other first. We have to respect each other first, so that other people will respect us and love us as well. They don't have to love us, but you get what I'm saying. Set the tone. You didn't have to be so rude to me, sir. You didn't have to be that. You were worse than him. And I was just like, Lord, well, that happens. Especially in this neck of the woods, So, but I didn't appreciate the way that you handled that either. He was very quiet and off to the side. I said, I didn't appreciate the way that he handled me either. But he made sure he stayed out the way. But he was very rude, And to me, you know what it is? It's like people don't want me in the community. So the attitude is, ma'am, they don't want you in the community, you need to leave. I would love to. I'm being kept here. So while I'm here, respect me while I'm here, okay? Especially if I'm respecting you. You feel me? But like I said before, it starts with us, and we have to love each other first and set that example for the rest of the world so that we can heal our communities. And if you're in law enforcement, that is a position of authority. Even though you get paid with tax dollars, that is a position of authority, okay? And there are people who need you in your position. You've been given your position for a reason, Don't take advantage of that. Don't take that for granted, because you can easily be in my situation, So be mindful about how you treat your own people while you're on the clock and while you're off the clock. because you never know who you're talking to. You guys have a good night, okay? Bye.